Aloha, everybody. This is Peter K. with OahuForFree.com, and I want to talk to you about my favorite beach of all, and that is Makapuu. I love this beach. It's beautiful. It's natural. It's got something for everyone. There's fantastic swimming, although you do have to be a good a good swimmer. The beach is usually rough. The water's usually rough, but it's really, really fun if it's not too big. It's a big beach. It's very, very private. You feel like you're in the middle of nowhere. Because of where Makapuu is situated, it's essentially away from everything, yet not too far away of a drive. I mean, if you're coming from Waikiki, it's probably about a half hour to a 40-minute drive. And when you get there, there's no, other than Sea Life Park, which is right across the street, there is no buildings anywhere. Can't even see the parking lot from the beach for the most part, and so you really feel like you're in a different world altogether. There's beautiful tide pools where the kids, if you have little children, they can safely explore, although you should stay close to them because, again, the big thing about Makapuu is the water does get rough, so you do have to be careful for that. Now, there's very, very rough versus mildly rough, but it is rough. And you do have to stay, if you got little children especially, you want to stay with them closely. But there's these beautiful tide pools for the kids to explore. There's fishing. If you like to put a fishing rod in the water and kind of sit by the shore and throw it in, sometimes you'll see fishermen there, but there are fish around the area. The crowning big benefit of Makapuu is the body surfing. It's just absolutely world-class body surfing, bodyboarding. I love going there. The beach is really, I think it's such a beautiful place. You've got these gorgeous mountains that surround the beach, and they're right there. They're not that far away. It's literally, the beach is sort of carved into the side of a mountain. And so when you're in the water, you could look up and you got these dramatic, beautiful views. And across the bay, there are these two mokus, two islands. They're bird sanctuaries, they're small islands, but it gives you this nice texture to look at when you're sitting on the beach or you're in the water. The water is usually always crystal clear. It's clean as it can be. The only thing is sometimes, in rare occasions, lesser now in the past few years that I've noticed, at least the way I've noticed it, but sometimes there's seaweed in the water, which is not pollution, but it's seaweed. And, a lot of people don't like jumping into a bunch of seaweed, but that is now by far the exception more than the rule. The water is usually always crystal clear. If it is calm, if Makapuu's not rough, which is the exception, not the rule, but when it's calm, you could really explore snorkeling. If you're into snorkeling in kind of a rugged area, the rugged coast, you just kind of hang on. If you're looking out on the water, you hang on the right-hand side and you see up and down there that sort of cliff area, follow the line of the lighthouse. You can spend an easy day snorkeling in and out of every one of those little fingers and crevices, and there is caves in there, small caves that you can go into. There are these little water inlets. I remember once I spent an entire day just snorkeling, every square inch of that coast. It was an exceptionally flat day. It was beautiful for snorkeling. Again, the water was crystal clear. It really feels, it's got this beautiful, rugged feel that I think very few beaches on Oahu have, and Makapuu's got one of those. I mean, on the right hand, if you're looking out on the beach, on the right-hand side, there's this rugged, black coral area where sometimes there's crashing waves, and on the other side you've also got sort of a black coral area with lots of tide pools that people can walk around and explore. It's just a wonderful beach. I do want to talk about Makapuu's water conditions. It is world-class surfing, but you do have to be very, very, very careful in the water. I can't stress that enough. This beach catches a lot of different waves or swell directions from the north and the east and the south, and so like I said earlier, the water is usually rough more times than it's not. Rough has a variety of levels and degrees of roughness. Some roughness is fun. A lot of roughness is deadly. What you have to do is be very, very cautious. If there's signs up, the signs are to be heeded. You got to really watch the water before you go in. My best advice, the simplest advice I have, is you look out at the water and ask yourself if you've ever been in water this rough. If you've ever been in water this rough and you're comfortable with that, then you're good. If you're looking out at that water and you've never been in water that looks like that, what I strongly suggest you do is go to the lifeguards. They're really friendly, and there's a lifeguard area right in the middle of the beach. Can't miss it. Walk up there. They're really friendly. They're really knowledgeable. I've Look, I've been body surfing Makapuu for over 20 years, and I still go there. I've gone there once or twice to ask them about certain conditions because I wasn't sure about what it was like. And they're very, very knowledgeable. They know the area very well. They'll tell you where the safe places are and the places to stay away from. Generally speaking, though, as you're looking out in the water, there's this giant rock in the middle of the beach, which sort of splits the beach almost in half. If you stay on the right-hand side, as you're looking out in the water, the right-hand side is generally speaking calmer or safer than the left-hand side. The left-hand side has a current that kind of goes out to sea. The right-hand side doesn't have a current that goes out to sea, but on very big days it has a current that goes to the right and follows the rocks. So again, it's dangerous if it's rough. You got to be careful. But generally speaking, the right-hand side is a little bit safer than the left-hand side. The lifeguards are great. You got to go ask those guys, ask them what they think, and they'll fill you in on kind of what it's all about. It's got the normal things that you need out of a beach. There's a little picnic area, there's bathrooms, there's parking, showers, so it's got all that stuff. It's really good. I would go to this beach if you want the feeling of getting away from it all, if you enjoy the water, if you consider yourself sort of a water-loving kind of a person, and getting tossed around is something that you enjoy. You like that kind of a sense. If you go to water parks and you like the rough water at the water park, this is a great place. If you love kind of walking around and exploring a beach, there's so many nooks and crannies on both the left and the right hand side of the rocks. It's just really, really fun. If you like exploring and walking around and getting into lava rock formations and tide pools, and if you have kids, to take them with you and explore these little places, you'll love it. You want to avoid this beach if you don't like rough water. If you like it, nice and calm. If you're not familiar with water, or if being in rough conditions if it scares you, don't go. You won't like it. If you've got very, very small children, infants, toddlers that you're not comfortable around the water, it may not be a good idea, depending on the situation. They may get themselves in trouble, or you have to really watch them over very, very carefully. You also don't want to go here if you're the beach crowd type. If you consider yourself sort of a beach bum and you love people watching and you want to watch a bunch of girls or guys in bikinis running around, and this is not that place. I mean, this place doesn't get crowded. That's another thing I like about it. It's normally not crowded. It's kind of like a local kind of a hangout. So if you're into people watching or beach crowds, this is definitely not it. Or if you want modern conveniences really nearby, i.e. food and shopping, there's nothing closer than Waimanalo is close on one side, and close means maybe it's about a 15 or 20 minute drive. It's really food and shopping is nowhere nearby. There is some food, but it's a 15 or 20 minute drive. Shopping, there's no shopping in nearby anywhere. So that might give you an idea of what this beach is good for. Me, it's my favorite beach. I go there. If I don't go there once a week, I really, really feel like I'm missing out. I suggest you check it out. Again, water safety is number one. If you see conditions that you're not familiar with, talk to the lifeguards. It might be okay. Just talk to the lifeguards. Don't look at what other people are doing, because a lot of people who go there live there, and so they're very familiar with those water conditions. Getting tossed around by waves that are 6 feet high. A lot of us locals, we revel that. We look forward to it. Someone who's not swam a lot before, that's getting into that, can really get hurt. So the water is the number one thing. Look at the conditions. If you've never been in there before, go see the lifeguard. The lifeguards will help you. Once you've got the water safety issue resolved, if you're going to hang out, enjoy yourself, I would bring a picnic, bring a bunch of food, bring a cooler, bring a nice umbrella. There's not a lot of shady areas, although if you look at where the grassy areas are, there is vegetation. There is some place that you can sort of hide under for cover. But if you have a big beach umbrella, bring that. This is the kind of place that if you get the right conditions and the right day, bring a bunch of food, you can easily spend the whole day there and really, really, really enjoy yourself. I have very, very fond memories when I was younger and single and without kids. And, I would pack a lot of food and a lot of drink, and I would stay there the whole day. I would go on a little ritual of eating, surfing, and sleeping. Or I don't know what the order was. No, I would surf. Yeah, that's right. I would surf, then I would get out, I would eat, and then I would sleep. And then I would wake up and I would go and surf and eat and sleep. And I would just do that for the whole day, from morning until sundown. It's a beautiful place. This is Peter K with OahuForFree.com. The best things in life are free. And Oahu has got so much to offer. Check out the website, OahuForFree.com. We've got things to do, beautiful, natural, awe-inspiring life adventures that are all for free on Oahu. OahuForFree.com. This is Peter K. Aloha.